24 hours of the Passion, 5 a.m. hour. Jesus in prison. Preparation before each hour. O my Lord Jesus Christ, prostrate in your divine presence, I implore your most loving heart to admit me to the sorrowful meditation of the 24 hours in which, for love of us, you wanted to suffer so much in your adorable body and in your most holy soul unto death on the cross. Oh, please give me help, grace, love, deep compassion and understanding of your sufferings as I now meditate this hour. And for those which I cannot meditate, I offer you my will to meditate them, and I willingly intend to meditate them in all the hours in which I have to apply myself to my duties or sleep. Accept, O merciful Lord, my loving intention, and let it be beneficial for me and for all, as if I effectively and in a saintly way accomplished what I wish to practice. Meanwhile, I give you thanks, O my Jesus, for calling me to union with you by means of prayer. And to please you more, I take your thoughts, your tongue, your heart, and with this I intend to pray, fusing all of myself in your will and in your love, and stretching out my arms to hug you, I place my head on your heart, and I begin. Jesus, my prisoner of love, I have awakened, but I cannot find you. With loving sighs my heart beats so heavily. Tell me, where are you? Angel of mine, lead me to the house of Caiaphas. O my Jesus, I look all around time and time again and search everywhere, but I do not find you. My love, hurry. With your hands, move the chains with which you keep my heart bound to yours and draw me to yourself, so that I may take flight and throw myself into your arms. And you, Jesus, my love, wounded by my voice and desiring my company, draw me to you. I now see they have placed you in prison. My heart exults with joy in finding you, but is wounded with sorrow in seeing you reduced to such an agonizing state. Your hands are tied behind you to a column and your feet are tightly bound. Your most sacred face is bruised, swollen, and bleeding from the horrible blows you received. Your most pure eyes are black and blue. Your pupils are tired and afflicted from the night's vigil. Your hair is completely dishevelled. Your most sacred person crushed, and you cannot even move a muscle to clean the blood from your face as you are bound. And I, dear Jesus, with sobs as I cling to your feet, say, alas, Jesus, they have reduced you to such a sorrowful state. And Jesus, looking at me, says, O my child, come and observe closely everything you see me do, so that you may cooperate in everything I do and allow me to continue my life in you. To my amazement, I now see that instead of occupying yourself with your pains, With indescribable love, you think about glorifying your Father to requite Him for all that we owe Him. You call all souls around you to take all of their evils upon yourself and give them all the blessings you possess. Since the day is dawning, I hear your most sweet voice say, Holy Father, I give you thanks for all I have suffered and for all that is left for me to suffer. Just as this dawn calls the day and the day makes the sun rise, so may the dawn of grace arise in all hearts. As the daylight arises, may I, the divine Son, arise in all hearts and reign in them. O Father, do you see these souls? I want to answer you on their behalf, for their thoughts, words, works, and steps, even at the cost of my own blood and death. O my Jesus, fathomless love, I unite myself to you, and I too thank you for all that you have made me suffer and for all that is left for me to suffer. And I beg you to make the dawn of grace arise in all hearts, so that you, the divine Son, may rise again in all hearts and reign in them. My sweet Jesus, I also see that you make reparation for all the forced thoughts, affections, and words at the rising of the day that are not offered in your honour, and, as a pledge offering, you call to yourself and offer the thoughts, affections, and words of souls in order to make reparation for them and to give to the Father the glory they owe Him. O my Jesus, Divine Master, since you and I have 1 hour to ourselves in this prison and we are alone, not only do I want to follow you in everything you do, but I first wish to clean you, fix your hair and then fuse myself completely in you. So I draw near your most sacred head, and in rearranging your hair, I offer reparation for the many minds that are distraught, cluttered with earthly things, and that fail to offer you the slightest thought. Fusing myself in your mind, I reunite all the thoughts of souls within you, especially the many stifled interior lights and inspirations, and I fuse them in your thoughts, where I may discover sufficient reparation for all evil thoughts. I bind as one all thoughts with yours and offer you true reparation and perfect glory. My afflicted Jesus, I kiss your eyes, sad and filled with tears. Having your hands bound to the column, you cannot dry them nor remove the spittle with which they have sullied you. And since the position in which they have bound you is so excruciating, you cannot close your tired eyes to rest. My love, I gladly offer you my arms as a bed to give you rest. I therefore dry your eyes, ask for your forgiveness, and offer reparation for all the times we have not had the aim of pleasing you, of looking at you to see what you desire of us, and of asking you what path we should take and what we should do. I fuse my eyes in your eyes and in the eyes of all creatures, and with your own eyes I offer reparation for all the evil we have done with our sight. My compassionate Jesus, I kiss your most sacred ears, tired from the insults of the whole night, and, much more, from the echo of all the offences of souls that resound in your ears. I ask your forgiveness, and I offer reparation for all the times you called out to us while we have chosen to be deaf to your voice, or pretended not to hear you. And you, my weary and good Jesus, have repeated your calls to us, but in vain. I fuse my ears in yours and that of all souls to offer you continuous and complete reparation. Beloved Jesus, I adore and kiss your most sacred face, all bruised from the violent slaps. I ask your forgiveness, and I offer reparation for all the times you have called us to offer reparation, while we have instead joined your enemies in giving you slaps and spittle. Beloved Jesus, I want to fuse my face in yours to restore your natural beauty and offer you full reparation for all the contempt you receive in your adorable majesty. My embittered, good Jesus, I kiss your most sweet mouth, wounded by blows and parched with love. I fuse my tongue in your tongue and those of all souls, and with your own tongue I offer reparation for all sins and evil conversations. My thirsty Jesus, I wish to unite all voices to yours as one, so that when we are about to offend you, your voice may flow in that of all souls to stifle the voices of sin and turn them into voices of praise and love. Enchained Jesus, I kiss your neck. Oppressed with heavy chains and ropes that, running from your chest to the back of your shoulders and passing through your arms, keep you bound ever so tightly to the column. Your hands are already swollen and blackened from the tight pressure of the knots, so much so that from various parts blood flows forth. Oh, please, allow me to release you, my bound Jesus. If you love to be bound, allow me to bind you with the sweet chains of love which, instead of making you suffer, shall comfort you. And as I release you from these fetters, I fuse myself to your neck, in your chest, in your shoulders, in your hands, and in your feet, to offer reparation with you for all attachments, and, in their place, offer you all the chains of your love. By this means, I will be able to offer reparation with you for the inseparateness of all souls, and fill the hearts of all with your fire of love that already fills you to the point where you can no longer contain it. I also offer reparation with you for all illicit pleasures and love of comforts, in order to infuse in everyone the spirit of sacrifice and joy that is found in suffering when united to your suffering. I fuse myself in your hands to offer reparation for all evil works, for good works that are done badly, and with presumption, and to convey to all the fragrance of your good works. I fuse myself in your feet to block all the misguided steps of souls, and I offer reparation for them to convey to them all your steps, so that their steps can be directed towards performing holy works. Finally, my sweet life, as I fuse myself in your heart, allow me to enclose all the affections, heartbeats, and desires of souls, whereby I may offer along with you reparation on their behalf, and infuse in everyone your affections, heartbeats, and desires, so that no one may offend you ever again. But I hear the creaking noise of a key. Your enemies are now coming to take you out of prison, and I tremble, Jesus. I feel my blood run cold. You will again be in the hands of your enemies. What will happen to you? I also seem to hear the creaking of the Tabernacles keys. How many desecrating hands come to open them for you to perhaps descend into sacrilegious hearts? Into how many unworthy hands are you compelled to find yourself? Jesus, my prisoner, I wish to be with you in all the tabernacles that constitute your prisons of love, and with you when ministers release you, so as to keep you company and offer reparations for the offences you receive. I see that your enemies are near. While you greet the rising sun on this last day of yours on earth, as they release you, in seeing you with a completely majestic aura, and looking at them with so much love, they, in turn, unload your face with slaps that are so violent as to render it red with your most precious blood. Jesus, my love, before leaving this prison, in my sorrow, I ask for your blessing to obtain the strength to follow you throughout the rest of your passion. Reflections and Practices by Saint Hannibal de Francia. In prison, tied to a pillar and immobilized, Jesus is smeared with spittle and mud. He looks for our soul to keep him company. And are we happy to be alone with Jesus, or do we look for the company of creatures? Is Jesus alone our only breath and our heartbeat? In order to make us similar to him, beloved Jesus binds our souls with aridity, oppressions, sufferings, and with other kinds of mortification. Are we happy to be bound by Jesus in that prison in which his love places us, that is, in obscurity, oppressions, and the like? Jesus is in prison. Do we feel the firmness and promptness to imprison ourselves within Jesus for love of him? Afflicted Jesus longed for our soul in order to be united and sustained in the painful position in which he found himself. Do we long for Jesus alone to come and keep us company, to free us from the chains of every passion, and to bind us with stronger chains of his heart? Do we offer our suffering as a cortege around suffering Jesus in order to remove from him the spittle and the mud that sinners offer him? Jesus prays in prison. Is our prayer constant and with that of Jesus? My enchained Jesus, you became a prisoner for love of me. So I beseech you to imprison my mind, my tongue, my heart, and my entire being within you, so that I may enjoy no freedom without you, and you may have absolute lordship over me. Thanksgiving after each hour. My lovable Jesus, you have called me in this hour of your passion to keep you company, and I have come. I seem to hear you praying, repairing and suffering in anguish and sorrow, pleading for the salvation of souls in the most touching and eloquent voices. I tried to follow you in everything, and now, having to leave you for my usual occupations, I feel the duty to say to you, thank you, and I bless you. Yes, O Jesus, I repeat to you, thank you, thousands and thousands of times, and I bless you for all that you have done and suffered for me and for all. I thank you and I bless you for every drop of blood you shed, for every breath, for every heartbeat, for every step, word, glance, bitterness and offence which you endured. In everything, O my Jesus, I intend to seal you with a thank you, and I bless you. Please, O Jesus, let my whole being send you a continuous flow of thanks and blessings, so as to draw down upon me and upon everyone the flow of your blessings and thanks. Please, O Jesus, press me to your heart, and with your most holy hands seal every particle of my being with your I bless you, so that nothing other than a continuous hymn to you may come from me.